You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, the community of Fort Scott gathers at the library to enjoy a holiday party.
And we take you down the aisle this holiday season as we learn more about holiday weddings.
And we are watching the potential of a potent winter storm as we head into this Thursday. We're going to take a look at that system coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly releases her 3-part plan to cut taxes more than $500 million over the next 3 years. The first part of the plan is a push to immediately end the state sales tax on groceries. The state legislature earlier this year agreed to phase out that tax by 2025. It'll first drop from 6.5% to 4% in January. Now, the second part of her plan would create a 3-day 0% sales tax holiday on school-related supplies every August. Lastly, it would cut taxes on Social Security for retirees. Governor Kelly says she's hoping for bipartisan support to pass the bill. Well, some 4-staters may need to find a new provider for mental health care. Ascension Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh announced it is closing its behavioral health department because of a lack of funding and staffing. The hospital sent letters to affected patients. The department will remain open only through the end of the month. And folks in Fort Scott had some holiday fun at the public library. It was the 6th annual holiday family party. There were games, crafts, a scavenger hunt, and a snowball fight with socks. Staying in the holiday spirit, there was also gifts.
Libraries are constantly evolving to serve the communities where they are, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to stay with the times and give our people what they need, and I think that includes a lot of things that people might not associate with libraries, so they should look at their local library and see what's going on.
The library says it's planning lots of other exciting events. Well, about 12% of couples get married on the holidays throughout the year, and it definitely makes remembering your anniversary easier. With Christmas around the corner, it means couples will be saying I do on the jolliest day of the year. And our very own Amber Jenkins has more on these holiday I do's.
Good morning, Tanya. The holiday season adds festive cheer to any gathering, including weddings. According to the wedding reports, December is the most popular month for marriage proposals. Having a holiday wedding can bring Christmas cheer, but planning a holiday wedding can be difficult.
Be easier and harder to get family here, and gather them all together, like both ways. Sometimes it really helps to have them at the holidays, so it gives a good alternate reasons for them to come from far away to be there for someone's special moment.
And while holiday weddings and proposals may be popular, the most popular time of the year to get married is between June and November, with June being the most popular month.
All right, thank you, Amber. I think we were talking about this earlier, the average cost of a wedding. How much does it vary here in the 4 states?
Yeah, so I was looking at the reports for the average holiday wedding in Kansas, and it runs usually about $14,000. However, for Missouri holiday weddings, they usually run a little higher. I'm talking about $24,000, even up to $28,000. Wow. So it's a huge jump.
Oh, that is a big difference. All right, thank you so much, Amber. Well, as temperatures drop, homes that are not properly weatherized can get uncomfortable and expensive to heat. And during this time of the year, Economic Security Corporation in Joplin gets a lot of phone calls from clients saying they have high heating bills or that houses are cold. To optimize energy efficiency during the cold, organization encourages residents to open blinds when it's sunny outside to let the heat come in. Now, checking for any gaps near doors or windows is also a must. But keeping an eye on the water pipes is important as well.
Drip your water on cold nights, just a slow drip, just to keep some water moving, to try to keep them from freezing. Another thing we recommend is to maybe open the cabinet doors under the sinks.
Well, Daniel encourages residents to insulate hot water pipes to reduce heat loss.
You're definitely going to want to take some of that advice as we head into the next 2 or 3 days. We have alert days for Thursday and Friday. We got wind chill and winter storm watches through Friday, and wind chill watches will continue into into Saturday, so we can see wind chills drop into 30 below. For Thursday's system, snow is a medium impact, believe it or not. Our biggest concern here is the extreme cold and the high winds that are going to accompany it. That's why we have the winter storm watch. The winter storm watch is because we could see from these gusty winds pushing 40-45 miles an hour near blizzard-like conditions. The wind chill watch is because with those same winds, we're going to see temperatures drop, and we're going to end up seeing wind chills again down to about 30 below. We're still in the early stages, though. Get your game plan ready. We're still a few days out. Things can change between now and then. Right now, we've got winter storm watch from basically 54 north through Friday, and everybody else, including the winter storm watch folks, in that wind chill watch. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow is what we're expecting at this time, but this can change. It can change between now and the noon hour, so make sure you stay right here with KOAM for the latest. Joplin, we're looking pretty cloudy, 34 degrees, north breeze at 5, making it feel like 30. Cold out there across the area, 25 Iola, 28 Fort Scott, 33 Pittsburgh, 36 Miami, and 34 in Neosho. And I forgot to take that out of there, but that's okay. And we're heading high for a high today of 37 degrees under cloudy skies, and as we head into tonight, we're stay cloudy. We're going to drop back down to 28 for our low. So not as cold as it's going to be, but we're starting to get a little chilly today, tomorrow. Your 2 best days for doing any kind of holiday traveling.
All right, well, up next, Kelsey Keeney from the SEK Humane Society stops by to not only introduce us to a cute new friend, but tell us about 2 upcoming events at the shelter.
And later, communities of faith come together to fight hate this holiday season. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We've got a couple of alert days as we head into the end of this week, both for Thursday and for Friday. Thursday, we're looking at wind chill and winter storm watches. We got the snow, we got the gusty winds. Friday, the wind chill watches continue all the way into Saturday. So we'll get to the exact explanation of this entire system that we've been keeping an eye on here. We're looking at a medium impact from snow by Thursday. Believe it or not, that's not our biggest concern. We could see snow. We're going to see snow. Our biggest concern at this point is the extreme cold and then those winds that are going to accompany it. Now, we are still a few days out. We're still in that game plan stage. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you're paying attention to the forecast. If you can, try and do your traveling today or tomorrow to stay ahead of this storm. Just be ready because there's still changes that are possible as we get closer. As it stands, winter storm watch in these blue counties from 54 north. This winter storm watch is because we could see winds gusting 40, 45 miles an hour. And while we may not get feet of snow, with the winds, we're looking at the possibility of blizzard-like conditions. Now, those same winds are the reason everybody is under a wind chill watch through at least this Saturday, because they're going to push wind chills back down to upwards of 30 below zero, making it dangerous, potentially deadly, to be out as we head into Thursday and Friday. Here's what we're thinking so far: 2 to 4 inches of snow across the area. As we get closer, these amounts will be updated. They'll be updated by the time the noon news hits, and we'll keep an eye on them. But this is the current thinking on this system. As we get into tomorrow evening, we'll have better indications for Thursday. Those amounts could go up. They could go down. Just stay tuned to KOAM for the latest and keep handy that KOAM Skywatch weather app. In Joplin, we've got a few clearing spots out there. Otherwise, we're cloudy, 34 degrees, north wind at 5, making it feel like 30. Cold, 27 in Yates Center, 25 Iola, 31 Parsons, 35 Chautauqua, 36 Miami, 34 Neosho, and we got 33 over in Carthage as we start our day. Now for the rest of the day, 37 degrees for the high, a little cooler than yesterday and still below average, cloudy skies. And as we head into tonight, we'll hold on to cloudy skies back down to a low of 28 degrees before we pick up an extra degree as we head into tomorrow morning. All right, travel delays. So if you are traveling today, if you're heading off to the Pacific Northwest, they're looking at some serious travel delays up there. Or if you're heading down to the south, we got some minor travel delays, but they are there. As we head into the middle of the week, this is our storm system coming in. And you can see we've got moderate and major travel delays and impacts expected as this system keeps sinking our way. And then we get into that moderate to major travel issues as well. Forecast today, very cold up north, -2 in Billings, -9 in Bismarck. But hey, International Falls, Not looking bad, 2 degrees, 29 in Montreal. If you're traveling to the south, obviously it's a pinch warmer down there. El Paso at 58, Phoenix at 64, and then Miami, even though they're getting some rain, it's 80 degrees. And I think that we're going to take that. We'd like to have that. 12 Omaha, 24 KC, 30 Wichita, 41 Tulsa, 43 in St. Louis today. So not bad for traveling. Taking a look at the airport delays. These are weather-related delays. As we mentioned around Thanksgiving, you got to make sure to check your specific flight. We haven't seen any significant weather-related delays as of this morning for any flights. 7-day forecast. All right, alert days. We're 43 tomorrow, 35, dropping rapidly. This system gets here about 5, 6 a.m. Down to -4, 8 Friday, maybe some morning snow Saturday, 15. 29 Christmas Day, a little warmer by next Monday, but possibly a wintry mix. We're back with more right after this.
Welcome back. If you are looking for a new best friend in your household, we just may have the perfect one for you this morning. I want to introduce you to Butterball and, of course, Kelsey Keeney from the SEK Humane Society joining us this morning. We've got some fun events to talk about, but first, let's talk about the tiny elephant in the room here.
Yeah, so this is Butterball. He is a 3-month-old Carolina Husky mix, so he can be very vocal at times, very playful. He's not quite available yet. He still just needs to be neutered, but you can still foster him if you're interested, which means you still get to take him home if your application's approved, and then just kind of work with us through the process of getting his neuter appointment set up and all that.
And good thing if you're looking for a female dog, Butterball has sisters.
Yeah, he has 2 sisters, and then he also has his mom as well.
All right, so there's some options there as well. That's great. Okay, so we have a fun event that just started yesterday, or you guys have a fun event. It's a virtual cat show.
Yeah, so it's our first ever cat show, and what it is people will submit pictures. We have 4 different categories. We have kitten, adult, best costume, and best trick. And people will submit the pictures and videos to Jasmine, our director. If you're interested in that, it is on our website under the events tab, and then it should show you all the directions on how to make the payments to our PayPal and submit the photos and all that jazz.
Okay, and hopefully you guys will get some fun pictures and videos with some cute cats that we can share later on. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and the other event is not until February, but it's something that would be really cool involving a little guy like this. Dates with a dog or?
Yeah, so it's called Will You Be My Date? It's kind of for Valentine's Day. It's going to be the 4th and 5th, and it's just a $10 donation, which will go towards future rabies vaccinations on future dog intakes. And then people will come in, it's on a Saturday and Sunday when we're open. They'll come in and pick the dog that they want to check out for the day and just kind of have like a date out on the town.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And hopefully this one will be well adopted by then.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said that this one, Butterball, are his sisters ready right now, or do they need to go through that process too?
No, so mom and his siblings all still have to go through that process as well.
Okay, so how long do you think it'll be before they're ready?
I would probably give it a couple weeks to a month, just with the holidays coming up and all that.
Scheduling and whatnot? Okay, well, any tips, last minute tips for people who may have already got a pet over the holidays or something, to just kind of, you've got your Christmas tree, your presents, and all the ornaments.
Yeah, so with cats and Christmas trees, that can kind of be a hassle at times. I just recommend, letting them check it out on their own, not like wreaking havoc and knocking down your tree entirely, but just kind of let them get used to it a little bit, maybe even get them like their own play toy of a mini Christmas tree, just something that occupies them and distracts them away from it.
Yeah, a good distraction. All right, well, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for bringing Butterball.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
He's a little explorer. We will be right back. We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Henry Ford. Private First Class Ford served in the Army from 1971 to 1973. He served in Vietnam. We thank you, today's four-state hero, Henry Ford.
Well, in New York City, faith communities are coming together to help fight hate this holiday season.
Hannah Klinger has more.
Brooklyn's largest menorah towers above crowds of dancing people at Grand Army Plaza.
Just a little bit of light. And from every single home, You end up bringing a lot of light and a lot of joy.
A night of blessings, gifts, and joyous celebration.
And our goal is for the world to be as bright as day during the night.
The lighting of this giant menorah has been a tradition in this community for decades now. And the rabbi says with every year, the crowd and the festivities just get larger.
From this grounds right here, where just a few weeks ago, people were spreading message of hate against the Jewish people.
Despite the holiday, anti-Semitism weighs heavily on many hearts.
The best thing I think we could do at those times is call it out.
Across the river in Midtown Manhattan, the world's largest menorah was on display as hundreds gathered there, too.
Singing songs, spinning the dreidel. It's just one of my favorite holidays that I love to celebrate.
And in this celebration, hate against Jews is also on people's minds.
Anti-Semitism is darkness. You dispel darkness with light. As a smart person said, while others curse the darkness, I lit a candle.
This was also the topic of discussion in Borough Park earlier today. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand joined leaders at the Met Council for a Hanukkah Day of Service, where she addressed what her office is doing to help on a federal level.
I've requested increased funding for the Envoy's office, the special envoy, to monitor and combat anti-Semitism and to elevate him to the rank of ambassador.
Each celebration is spreading light in its own way, in the hopes for a safer and brighter tomorrow.
It's a great way to celebrate the holidays and like they said, to fight hate. You got to remember, it's about love. It's not just the holidays that are about love. Everything's about love. Every day is about love.
That's a great way to look at it.
That's how we've got to be.
We got to share the love.
We'll be right back sharing a little more love right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:26. Whoever crashed a car into a Joplin home Monday morning fled the scene but left the car yesterday at around 6:30 a.m. The car went off the road, broke off a utility pole, a street pole, and a stop sign, and then went through the wall of a brick duplex at 401 South Ozark. Resident of the home was not hurt, but is now staying somewhere else after the Joplin building inspector deemed the duplex a dangerous building. At last report, police were still looking for the driver. Staff members from the KCU Joplin Dental School made a donation to help those in need maintain good oral health. They donated oral hygiene kits, which include toothbrushes, toothpaste, and floss to both the Ronald McDonald House and the Lafayette House. Officials with the Lafayette House say these supplies will last a while.
This is my first Christmas, and so it has been so heartwarming to see how many organizations and how many groups and families, individuals have come out to support Lafayette House.
The Lafayette House provides support to people dealing with domestic violence. Well, 'tis the season for weddings. KOAM's Amber Jenkins sat down with a couple who tied the knot during the holidays to find out why they chose this already festive time of year. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning, Tanya. The holiday season adds festive cheer to any gathering, including weddings. I spoke to a couple who had their holiday wedding last night. After years together, Mindy and Todd decided to tie the knot a week before Christmas at the venue at 52nd Street in Carthage.
I think it turned out.
The Christmas setting and everything was more than we were asking for. Very beautiful out here. And we wanted to just get married during the holidays and make it more festive, something we can really remember.
As a couple of Christian faith, holiday weddings symbolize not only love, but a new chapter.
I do believe God had a big play in this. So, yes, rebirth, new chapter and everything, yes.
Bookings for weddings, gatherings, and more increased for the venue at 52nd Street since January of 2021.
It was heartbreaking, and a lot of people had to, sit down and take it out, and family was afraid to be, traveling. And since COVID has ended, it has just been booming with people. And if people have already gotten married and had small ceremonies, they're getting a chance and opportunity to come out, and do it in style and have what they have always dreamed of.
The venue at 52nd Street is well versed in holiday gatherings.
Yes, we host weddings and other parties and Christmas parties and events throughout the whole month of December. And we have another large wedding here coming up on New Year's Eve too. So we do all the holidays.
According to the wedding report, December is the most popular month for wedding proposals. To add to their holiday bliss, Todd popped the question at a Christmas work party.
Yeah, at my company Christmas party on Friday night. It was quite the moment.
While December may be the most popular month to propose, the months through October tend to be the most popular months to get married, with October slightly edging out other months that range as most popular.
All right, so Amber, I saw that you were at the Lundstrom wedding there. Can you tell me a little bit about the Lundstroms, though? Like, this Christmas party was just a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, so Todd, the husband or groom-to-be, he proposed to the wife-to-be, Mindy, at a Christmas holiday party, and that was like 2 weeks ago. And then they were together for about 12 years and decided now's the time. And literally 2 weeks later, they had the wedding, and it was very beautiful. I was there the entire time. It was a very intimate wedding. It only had about 5 people, and it was really beautiful just seeing her walk down the aisle for the first time.
Well, you said they were together for 12 years, so why wait another year to get married?
Right.
All right, thank you so much, Amber. Well, folks in Fort Scott had some holiday fun at the library. It was the 6th annual holiday family party at the Fort Scott Public Library, and there were games and activities including crafts, a scavenger hunt, and a snowball fight with socks. And staying with the holiday spirit, there was also gifts.
Absolutely thrilled. It's been rough trying to help the community realize we're still here, and once they get into the habit of being home or doing other things, they might forget about the library. So this is a nice reminder that, hey, they know we're here and we're actually reaching them.
Attendees also heard holiday stories and sang some songs. This morning we're discussing teens and legal weed for adults.
According to the National Poison Data System, child and teenage marijuana use has gone up 245% in the last 20 years, and one Joplin family has already been impacted, and fear that they won't be the only ones impacted now that medical and recreational marijuana use is legal in Missouri again for those 21 and older.
That's right. Marijuana use in teenagers, which is still illegal, can have ill effects on brain development. The parents also believe that more engagement with their child could help. Studies have shown adults that use marijuana as teens are more prone to increased depression and suicide later in life.
So that brings us to our question for you, though. Should marijuana be legal? So far, there's a big swing from this morning. We were in the 70% range, yes. Now we're down to 43% of you say yes. 57% of you say it should not be. Make sure you vote through our website, through our app. Take part in discussion on our Facebook page. Real quick, just want to remind everybody about what we're watching on Thursday. So we're looking at medium impact from snow for this upcoming winter storm, high impact from cold and wind. As a matter of fact, we do have, let me skip right to it, we have winter storm watches basically from 54 north because we could see some blowing snow. And then that same wind is why there's a wind chill watch for everywhere, because we could see wind chills Thursday and Friday down to negative 30 degrees. And we're looking at the possibility of roughly 2 to 4 inches, but these amounts could change, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer to the Thursday storm. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We are joined again by our good friend Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission. Welcome back to the show. We've had some great recipes so far this month, and we're not done yet. In fact, we've got this one here. So what exactly we're looking at here?
Well, I thought you needed something for your sweet tooth. And that
everybody
maybe,
does.
yeah, that's right. And that maybe Santa needed a little sweetness too to go with for Christmas. But you can see what we have here. We're making a candy cane pie. I have a recipe on there for a crust that you can make, but if you want to save some time, you can do a purchase crust, and I just did a chocolate one. They come in nutty flavors too, and there's soy in there as well because of as they mixed it. But you can see how that dark chocolate is on the bottom. What I've done is I've melted a half a cup of chocolate chips with some chocolate soy beverage. Melt that together, pour it in the bottom, and then let that set up, and that makes a bottom layer of chocolate that we're going to have there. That looks good, doesn't it? To start with it. Then what I have here is 1 package of soy cream cheese. I just let it set out a little bit so it's nice and really at room temperature so it's easier to move. You're going to add this, and this is peppermint. Can you smell that peppermint?
Oh yeah, you can't see it, but there is peppermint in there.
Yeah, and it doesn't take very much to add that, but a little bit of peppermint flavoring, And then to this, we're going to add the powdered sugar. This is 1 cup of powdered sugar. Going to add a little bit of sweetness in there. We're going to stir that together, and then you're going to add those crushed peppermint candies. And it used to be that we would have to get out our rolling pin and we would crush candy canes, but now we can find them already crushed in the candy department.
They make it easier
they
and
make
easier
it
for
easier
us.
and easier. So go ahead and add that.
All right.
Great. That's going to add a little bit of crunch, and then also that extra flavor from the peppermint into it. How easy is this so far?
This is pretty darn easy so far.
So we mix that together, and you can see that it just blends together. And you know, another recipe kids could do, we don't need to use a mixer or anything. When that cream cheese is soft like that soy cream cheese, it's easy to mix. Now we have 1 cup of whipping cream. I'm going to add that in, and then just fold that in. And that makes it a little light and fluffy. There we go. And then we're just going to pour that into our chocolate mixture here. And I'll just pour that in there. And then we have some fun decorations, and the kids will love to do this. I'll show you how we're going to do this. I'll put that down there. We have just a little bit of the crushed candy that you can just put a little bit more over the top there. And then we give the recipe to do this, but look at this. We made little chocolate stars, little decorations that you can put on your pie. You could do it so that when you cut it into pieces, put that on for each serving. And all this is just a tablespoon or teaspoon of shortening that you melt with your chocolate chips. Put it in you could use a Ziploc bag, cut the corner off of it, and then make designs on like wax paper. Put it in the refrigerator until it sets up, and you've got little chocolate decorations.
Wow, this is a pretty simple recipe
It
too.
is.
So,
it is.
More information you can find on your website.
Yes, kansassoybeans.org. You can call our 800 number 877-KS-SOYBEAN and get the recipes, and we'll mail them to you, or you can call and we'll send them to you.
All right, Charlene, thank you so much. And of course, all this information on our site as well at KOAMnewsnow.com. We'll be right back after this. All right, we got a couple of alert days for us for Thursday and Friday. We got wind chill and winter storm watches through at least Friday, and then we've got those wind chill watches through at least Saturday. And what we're going to see is we're talking about winds gusting around 40, 45 miles an hour. So that's where both of these blend in. The winter storm watch is because with those wind gusts, even though we're not anticipating several feet of snow, the snow that falls could be near blizzard-like conditions with that snow. And then the wind on top of that, with temperatures dropping down to the teens within a matter of hours, we're talking wind chills at 30 below. All right, so Thursday's storm, rather, we're looking at medium impact from snow. Not really expecting a lot of ice, and then cold and wind, also a pretty significant deal. We're still a few days out. We're still in that game plan stage, but make sure, just do your best to not have any travel plans Thursday or Friday. Changes are still possible. We could see snow amounts go up. We could see them go down. We'll have to see what happens. Winter storm watches 54 highway and north essentially. Wind chill watches everybody that's in the area. Right now, we're thinking 2 to 4 inches of snow across the area. That could, again, increase or decrease between now and Thursday. So make sure you're staying tuned to KOAM. 7th and range line, clouds are trying to clear out, but we got more on the way. 34, north breeze at 5 makes it feel like 30 degrees out there across the area. 25 Yates Center, Iola, 31 Parsons, 32 Chitopa, 34 Miami, 36 in Monette, and 34 in Carthage. Our high today, 37 degrees under cloudy skies. And as we head into tomorrow, or tonight rather, 28 for our overnight low. Okay, real quick to the 7-day forecast. 35 to start early. This system gets here about, we're looking at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning Thursday. Temperatures drop rapidly down to -4, only 8 Friday, 15 Christmas Eve, 29 Christmas Day, and 35 by next Monday. Let's look at your forecast. Here's Tanya Bach with Consumer Watch.
Well, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's tobacco program needs more work, and that's according to an independent panel of experts who found numerous wide-ranging problems that hinder the agency's ability to regulate the industry and reduce tobacco-related disease and death. It comes after the FDA commissioner requested the review in July, anticipating issues resulting from an ever-growing number of tobacco products. Panel found a lack of clarity as well as deficiencies in transparency and communication. There was also concerns about the need for input from the stakeholders and the public and policy shifts that lack consistency. The panel also suggested clarification on application requirements and expectations and working with other agencies on enforcement. Across the country has caused a run on some children's medicines, and two of the country's biggest pharmacy chains, CVS and Walgreens, have responded. They announced Monday they will limit purchases of children's pain relief products. Walgreens will allow 6 over-the-counter purchases, while CVS will allow customers to buy just 2 pain relief products either online or in person. CVS says it also is working with its suppliers to meet the demand. Lab-grown meat could be closer to your dinner plate than you think, and apparently it tastes very close to the real thing. I'll have to try it to believe it. A recent sampling of one product from a British startup, IV Farm Technologies, revealed what this so-called cultivated meat tastes like. The meatballs were described as savory and full of flavor. I'll bet a bit smaller than your average meatball. This particular lab-grown meat was produced using a bioreactor operated by IV Farm. The company, founded in 2019, is one of multiple companies raising billions of dollars to reproduce animal cells in a lab. Last month, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said for the first time that a lab-grown meat product is safe to eat. Right now, Singapore is alone in allowing the sale of cultivated meat to consumers. Might be how we eat on future planets. Who knows? Well, the Better Business Bureau and animal rescue groups are warning of scammers trying to take advantage of people looking to give pets as holiday gifts. Jen Sullivan has 5 things to consider if a furry new companion is on your wish list.
Think twice before you buy a pet for your loved one this holiday season. The Better Business Bureau and animal rescue groups are issuing warnings about pet scams. And according to the BBB, financial losses from pet scams are expected to approach $2 million this year.
Unscrupulous breeders have gotten pretty good at trying to dupe the public into thinking that they're adopting an animal when they're in actuality buying from a puppy mill.
Holly Sizemore from Best Friends Animal Society has these 5 things to consider before purchasing a new furry addition to your family. 1. Avoid online fraud. Many listings could be fake, and you could be paying for a pet that doesn't exist. So meet your new pet in person before exchanging any money. 2. Know the years-long commitment, both with time and the cost of owning a pet.
Basic costs such as food, toys, enrichment, those are all important necessities for pets. Pets can be affordable, but it is a cost that you need to anticipate and budget.
3. Get the animal's health checked. Sizemore says dogs sold online often come from puppy mills and suffer from health issues due to poor living conditions and inbreeding. 4. Make the sustainable choice. Consider saving a life by adopting from a local shelter or rescue group. And finally, consider giving the experience of picking out a pet instead of picking it out yourself.
That is a great way to bring the joy of a new pet into the house during the holidays and allow the pet parent to choose the pet that best meets their lifestyle.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. From deep diving with sharks to revving the engine of a Harley Davidson.
This year, Santa is going all out before he gets to work delivering presents.
Why not? Jackie Ibanez gives us a special look.
These aren't your average Santas. With just days until Christmas, people around the world are taking inspiration from the jolly old man in red and spreading holiday cheer in unique ways. At aquariums in Japan and Malta, Santas recently swapped their sleighs for scuba gear, diving underwater to feed everything from sharks to fish and even dolphins.
It was good to enjoy an early taste of Christmas, although it did feel strange seeing Santa in the water.
In Italy, hundreds of cycling Santas spent the weekend riding around Rome. Sunday's excursion raised money for a charity providing relief to sick kids at a nearby hospital. Meanwhile, Santas in Tokyo opted for more horsepower as hundreds jumped on their Harley-Davidson motorcycles for an event calling for an end to child abuse.
I want to give wonderful smiles to children and dreams for their futures. I want to continue this activity to tell society that child abuse should not happen.
But not all Santas move on wheels. The streets of Venezuela's capital were flooded with Santas taking part in a 10K fun run Sunday. In Lebanon, a similar scene with roughly 500 people participating in a charity race for a children's cancer center.
Oh, I've never participated in
cool,
a
though.
Santa run. I need to do that one year.
I don't run.
I've seen you run in heels before.
That's true. That was a one-time thing. That was a special occasion. That was a special occasion.
We need to bring that back. All right, but now Santa is preparing for the biggest challenge of all, delivering millions of presents around the world.
On Christmas Eve, you can track his journey in real time by visiting the North American Aerospace Defense Command site, also known as, NORAD. All right. Speaking of Christmas, we've got a Christmas-like forecast for us, but it could be a dangerous one as well. We have alert days for Thursday and Friday for wind chill watches and winter storm watches. Snow, believe it or not, is not our biggest concern. It's wind and cold, but don't get me wrong, snow is happening. And we could see anywhere at this point from 2 to 4 inches. And that number could go up, it could go down in the next few days. We'll keep an eye on that for you. We're in the game plan stage still with the Thursday storm. Make sure you're prepared. If you are traveling, try your best to travel today or tomorrow. You absolutely do not want to wait until Thursday or Friday, because whatever snow we do get is not going to clear out of here by Friday or by Saturday, and it's very unlikely we'll have it cleared out by Monday. Winter storm watches, these darker blue colors, basically Highway 54 points north. Wind chill watches, everybody, and that's because we could see winds gusting upwards of 40, 45 miles an hour, creating an issue with blowing snow. Even if we don't get a ton of it, blowing snow is an issue, and wind chills down to minus 30. Here's those snowfall predictions at this point, but again, those are subject to change over the next 24 hours or so. 34 at Joplin right now. That says cloudy, but it's clearly not, but we have more clouds on the way. 28 Yates Center, 28 Chanute, 25 Yates Center, Iola, 34 Miami, and 34 in Carthage. And as we go through today, heading for a high of 37, below average and below where we were yesterday. We'll have cloudy skies. We'll stay cloudy heading into tonight. We'll drop back down to a low of 28 degrees on the 7-day. 43 tomorrow and cloudy, down to 35. That's where we start Thursday. This system gets here about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures plummet down to 8. Minus 4 Thursday night, 8 Friday, 15 Christmas Eve, 29 Christmas Day, 35 on Monday, but a wintry mix is possible. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The House committee investigating January 6th is recommending the Justice Department charge former President Trump for his role in trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election and for inciting a riot. The bipartisan group of lawmakers recommended 4 charges: obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make a false statement, and incite, assist, or aid or comfort an insurrection. The DOJ has charged more than 900 people as it conducts its own investigation. The department did not comment on the committee's report. The Supreme Court has temporarily blocked the lifting of the pandemic-era immigration policy known as Title 42. The rule put into place by the Trump administration was set to expire tomorrow. It allows for the immediate expulsion of migrants over COVID concerns. The court asked the Biden administration to respond today and left open the possibility that Title 42 could still be lifted. And a Los Angeles jury has found former movie producer Harvey Weinstein guilty on 3 of the 7 counts in his second sexual assault trial. Weinstein faces up to 18 years in prison, and he still has more than 20 years left on his sentence after a rape and sexual assault conviction in New York in 2020. He is appealing that decision.
All right, we're heading for a high of 37 degrees today. We will be cloudy as we head through the afternoon. We will be cloudy tonight, dropping back down to a low of 28 degrees. And then it's that Thursday system. So if you need to travel, I'd say do it today or tomorrow. 43 tomorrow, 35 tomorrow night. We'll start early at 35. System gets here about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Temperatures will plummet. Wind chills could be minus 30. We could see some blowing snow, upwards of 2 to 4 inches of snow. Minus 4 Thursday night, 8 Friday, 15 Christmas Eve, 29 Christmas Day, and 35 by next Monday.
All right. Well, it was packed at the zoo as neighbors came to watch the rare baby twin elephants open their enrichment presents over the weekend.
The zoo hosted more than 1,700 people as presents were given to the animals in honor of both Twin Day and the holidays.
The rare twin Asian elephants, Yad, and that's the name of one of them, Yad, and Tukata, were born back in October. The gifts were presented by the Micron Technology.
All right, that's pretty neat. Twin elephants too. That is, like they said, that
I
is
love that
really-
hair on, like the ridgeback hair. That's so
I
cute.
know. That's pretty cool.
Got like a buzz cut.
They look like they are having a blast too. Probably how the kids will all look come Christmas Day.
All you need is a box.
Uh-huh.
Kids love boxes.
They do indeed. Well, thanks so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.